Mr. Speaker, he raised the issue of Galamsey. I must admit that as a country, we must be united in the fight against Galamsey. It is a problem that has plagued our society, and in the last 4 years, Galamsey was a major problem. Our rivers were largely polluted. There was digging everywhere, and I was even shocked a few weeks ago when I was driving from Kumasi to Accra and saw that in some communities there was digging even right behind a police station building. Right behind a police station building, people were digging looking for gold. Mr. Speaker, this government, upon assumption of office, has put in place a number of measures aimed at decisively dealing with the problem of Galamsey and the pollution of our river bodies. Quite recently, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources commissioned 1,000 blue water guards. Those 1,000 blue water guards are already working and turning our water bodies, which had become brown, to blue. And I think that in due course, the various polluted rivers will be cleaned and we'll begin to see blue water, flowing in our rivers and not the brown, milky water that was flowing in them in 2024. We are also overhauling the licensing regime. Just last week, 907 licenses were announced, and people were being asked to come and rectify all their licenses so that we will have them on record, documented, the owners, the sites, so we can deploy, the requisite expertise to monitor activities at those 907 small-scale mining sites. Mr. Speaker, there is a well-coordinated fight against illegal mining led by the National Anti-Illegal Mining Team, that is NAIMOs, and they are fighting illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, Cabinet has approved a well-refined cooperative mining program to deal with the problem of illegal mining. And indeed, Cabinet has also voted significant amounts of money for alternative livelihoods. You will recall that yesterday in our closing debate on the mid-year budget, we recounted the various increments in social interventions, all meant to complement efforts that we are putting in place, driving people out of illegal mining sites, and you have to give them alternative livelihoods and support them. Mr. Speaker, there is an effective coordination in the importation of excavators. I want to report to this House that under the NPP, between 2023 to 2024, MPP arrested only 845 illegal miners, 2023-2024, and prosecuted only 35 persons. Within 6 months, the NDC government has arrested 1,345 people, and most of them are being processed for court. Mr. Speaker, we have seized 425 excavators. 425 excavators have been seized, and those 425 excavators are still held by the government of Ghana, and none of them is missing. Mr. Speaker, at the port, we are monitoring the importation of excavators, and over 1,000 excavators are being held at the port. Over 1,000 excavators are being held at the port. And there's a coordinated work between the Minerals Commission, DVLA, and Customs. And now when you import an excavator, you will have to justify the reason for the importation. You'll have to show that you have a government contract that requires that you use an excavator, or you have to show that you have a mining concession or lease that requires the use of the excavator. And we will also install trackers on the excavators, and then also the movement of the excavators will be geo-fenced. So when you move the excavators, where the excavators are operating will be monitored by the Minerals Commission, the DVLA, and Customs. And because many of them cannot justify the importation of the excavators, we have over 1,000 excavators held up at the port. So the fight against illegal mining and Galamsey is continuing, unabated and relentlessly by this government. The minority leader mentioned attack on businessmen. Mr. Speaker, there is no attack on businessmen in this country. The persons that he mentioned are people that I personally know. And so when businessmen and state agencies have issues and they are being addressed using appropriate legal mechanisms, let not politicize them. Mr. Speaker, he talked about electricity tariffs. Indeed, when you say in one vein that we need to rationalize our energy sector, and yet you criticize any effort to engage in cost recovery when it comes to the production and sale of electricity, then it becomes very contradictory. Mr. Speaker, he also talked about investigative agencies using bail as a tool for punishing people who are being prosecuted. What I can say, Mr. Speaker, is that this House should not be used to intimidate investigative agencies. The EOCO was established by law, and EOCO was established by a law enacted by this Parliament or previous Parliament so that they can carry out a specific mandate. Indeed, the Office of Special Prosecutor was established by the new Patriotic Party government, and the law was enacted. The Special Prosecutor was appointed by the government of the new Patriotic Party when they were in office to exercise mandate that this Parliament gave them. And I think that in all the legislation that we have established, we have clearly spelled out that citizens have rights, and when those rights are being violated, they have access to our courts to go and vindicate their rights. I think that it is the height of hypocrisy for us to enact such fine laws, establish those institutions, and when they are exercising their responsibilities and their mandates, for us to sit in this House and criticize them and try to undermine them in the exercise of their legitimate duties. So, Speaker, those who feel aggrieved by those institutions know where to go to. They know the road to where the court buildings are, and they can afford lawyers to vindicate their rights. The minority leader also spoke about the Pan-African Parliament and the ECOWAS Parliament delegations that were constituted by this House. Right, Honorable Speaker, what I can say about that simply is that this House has appropriately passed resolutions, taking decisions on the composition of our delegations to the Pan-African Parliament and the ECOWAS Parliament, and I believe that any revocation of the decision of Parliament has to be based on another resolution of this House changing that decision. Otherwise, the decision remains the decision of Parliament. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, an important event occurred, and I was hoping to make a statement on that, but due to the constraints of time, I never got to make a statement on that. I'm sure many of you have read social studies and history, either senior high school or, those days secondary school, O-level or A-level at sixth form, or even in the university. And we all remember the famous bond of 1844, which was the bond that really began colonialism in the then Gold Coast, which is now Ghana. I'm happy to announce that last week, the National Archives of the United Kingdom brought to this Parliament a copy of the original bond of 1844. And we now have that. We now have a copy in our archives for viewing. Yes, the original copy, a copy of the original copy was brought here and given to the Speaker to be kept in our national archives. So all those who want to see the original copy of the bond of 1844 can walk to our can walk to the Parliamentary Archive, and they will see a copy of the original bond. I urge the students who visit us anytime they come to pass through our archives and view the copy of the bond of 1844. Mr. Speaker, as we proceed on recess, I will urge honorable colleagues to prioritize their health and general well-being. In spite of our busy and tight schedules, we must find time to rest and spend quality time with our families. While the work we do is important, taking care of ourselves and spending time with family is equally important. Our Parliament, since its inception in 1993, has been inundated by so many preventable deaths, and it is time we prioritize our general health and well-being even as we serve the people. I will conclude by expressing my appreciation to the Right Honourable Speaker, his able deputies, honourable colleagues in the leadership, and the entire House for making us have a successful meeting. To the Clerk to Parliament and his hard-working staff, I say a big thank you for being there to provide the needed procedural advice and technical support to service us to be able to carry out our mandate here. You are the silent heroes, and I truly appreciate you and your work, Clerk and your team. To the Parliamentary Press Corps, I say thank you for choosing to be our partners on this journey. I would also like to thank the security personnel in Parliament have stepped up their game, and these days, because we sometimes close very late, you see them loitering around, guarding our vehicles, watching over our cars, and then our offices, and making sure that generally we are safe even as we stay here till very late. I say thank you all, and may God bless us. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. And then also, during this sitting, we began the live broadcast of parliamentary proceedings on our channel on GBC. So let me, GTV, let me thank the GTV team, the Director General and his team for providing us with that facility. Even though we made some investment, they generously gave us a channel, and now parliamentary proceedings are broadcast live, and I think that a lot more people are following proceedings of Parliament. I want to urge colleagues, during recess, we need to populate the channel with content. So once in a while, the Parliamentary Broadcast Department will be inviting you, even during recess, for media engagement so that we can have content to populate our TV channel. In addition, all committees that will be sitting during the recess should also inform the broadcasting team of Parliament so that they can cover the proceedings of the various committees, not just the public accounts, every other committee. And I know that many committees have referrals, and during the recess, they will be meeting over their referrals. Please communicate to the broadcasting team of Parliament so that they can cover those ones, and they can use those material as content in order that our channel will not be boring and without footages during the recess. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I thank you all. God bless this Parliament. God bless Ghana. And may you all get home safely and return to the next meeting of Parliament in good health. I thank you very much.